everyone, my name is Tamara Chambers, Lara Croft, and this is Laura Just Saw. Tamara just saw. I wish. I just saw the new reboot of Tomb Raider, and I have some feelings about it. First of all, where were her pixel boobs? Her boobs weren't even big. Oh yeah, she was perfect for the character, and she was perfect in every way, and it worked so well. Bye. I saw some people like very upset about her boobs on Twitter, and I think that's so funny. It is a big part of her kind of look. Original Lara Croft growing up, the first few games, was very sexualized, and so I understand that's something that you think about when you think about that character, but I loved this actress in this role. What was her name? Who was she? Allison? Alicia Vikander. I don't know how to say that, but I absolutely loved her. There won't be any like heavy spoilers, because there's a few things you could spoil in this film that really threw me for a loop, honestly. I don't know how I feel about it. I think good, but it was weird. Really good review, Tamara. I really loved the Angelina Jolie versions. I know they're silly as hell, and I realize that they're not like incredible movies, but I love them so much. Laura was one of my very first female role models as a child. I used to play the original games with my dad, and that was when the internet wasn't around and we didn't have the guides. So if you couldn't get past a part in the video game, you had to call this like 1-800 number and pay to learn how to get past this like hard puzzle. It's just crazy to think about that now, when you can be like, oh, I can't get past this Korok in Breath of the Wild. Let me just doop 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 on my phone. Korok seeds aren't hard to get. That was a terrible example, but you know what I mean. And then a new game came out. I was gonna show it on screen, but I'm actually lending it to Malcolm right now, that I really enjoyed. It showed Lara a bit less sexualized. It showed the relationship with her dad really well, and there was a lot more story to it. This movie did such a good job of portraying this new video game. The Angelina Jolie ones were definitely more the original games. This one was almost like shot by shot the newer reboot of the video game, and I loved it. I don't know that I've ever felt that way about a video game movie ever. I don't think I've ever seen a video game movie and felt, wow, that really portrayed something that I loved to play and loved to interact with, and to see it on a big screen was just so exciting. If you love the franchise, if you love the games, you are going to really enjoy this movie. There were some weird CGI things that were going on that just looked bad. They did do a few things with the character that I feel could have been improved upon. There's the big trope where at the beginning of a movie you see the strong, independent character who you know is gonna rise to the top at the end, but at the very beginning they're in a fight and they're probably boxing, because that's usually what's happening. It was in this film. And they're boxing with someone else, and the other person wins, and it's like, oh man, they have a long way to go. And it's like, this is Lara Croft. Like, how is she supposed to find Himiko if she can't win a boxing match? I've said it once, I'll say it 1,000 times. There was a few times where something in the beginning happened, and then something exactly the same happened later on, and she overcomes it because she learned from it. And it's like, okay, well, we've seen that a million times. It could have been an even more interesting action film than it was. There were, though, a few sequences that really surprised me, and I will get into those when the time comes. Just chill. I do love what they do with the character in that she is not what you think of when you think of Lara Croft. In the beginning, it doesn't seem like she has a giant fortune. She is a bike courier. She's delivering snacks to people. She's scraping by, trying to get money wherever she can. She doesn't feel that she's entitled to the fortune that her father left. He's been missing for about 7 years, presumably dead. And she is just trying to make it on her own. I really enjoy what they did with that part of her character. Later on it comes up like, what university did you go to? And she's like, actually I didn't go to university. And it's like, I like that. It's more relatable, I guess, because I didn't go to university and I want to be Lara Croft. So thank you, movie. They introduced the origin of her green necklace that was in the recent video games, which I need to get, and it's on my Amazon wish list, so you know what to do. Also in the necklace origin scene, you get to see Nick Frost. He's in this film, and I was so delighted by that. And when it happened, I just thought to myself, wow, thank you, Tamara's Never Seen. Thank you, Channel Awesome, because my goodness, I know who Nick Frost is now. She's such a killer actress. She got the exact tone and attitude and brilliance of Lara, but just the attitude really got me. I felt like the Angelina Jolie movies, while I love them and I loved her as that role, I thought she was perfect for the time, wasn't, you know, the Lara Croft I remember playing in video games or like that I imagined for myself that she was like. It was very like tongue-in-cheek, like very silly, kind of very, I don't know, not the seriousness and brilliance, but also a sense of comedy and also a sense of like, you know, you kind of like, she got it perfectly and she was so good. And I really believed things she was saying in like a Tomb Raider film that overall was kind of silly and could have been a lot better. I still felt like she was a really killer actress. So her father goes missing and he's been gone for a very long time, and she finally, after 7 years, unlocks the mystery to where he's been and could possibly still be. And so she goes to Hong Kong. She goes to find Himiko, the Queen of Death, which is like a super cool name. She got to Hong Kong, and there was this scene of these 3 thieves trying to steal her bag. And she does some really cool maneuvering to get her bag back. Then they're gonna try to cut off her tongue, and she does some really, really good work to get away from them, but then at the end she still needs help from a drunken fisherman. And it's like, I wish she could have just done that herself. I don't feel like she needed all of the help that she got in this film. But the drunken fisherman ends up being the son of the man who initially took her father out to see Himiko, and so they go. Wow, what a coincidence. If you played the video game, you know about this scene. There's a scene where the boat is sinking that is taking them to Himiko, and it is an exciting sequence. This is what I was talking about in the beginning. The sheer awesomeness of the boat sinking scene, if you've played the video game, you know the one, was so incredible, I was immediately put in the mood. Its badassery was deeply erotic, is what I was scribbling down in the movie theater. I meant it. And then after this, pretty much word for word, it's the video game. There is a bad guy named Matthias. She gets taken prisoner, and then she escapes in a very badass way with the help of her very badass, attractive friend. And it looks so much like the game. And as a gamer who played the game, that's super exciting, something I've never experienced before. The airplane waterfall scene, mwah, yes! And I wrote out, mwah. So I knew in my mind what I wanted for that moment. I wrote, in the Himiko tomb, amazing, so Tomb Raider, so much cooler than Angelina Jolie. Though I do think something they got really right with the Angelina Jolie one is that she believes in magic and the mystical and the unknown. Like, she's an archaeologist, but also very much that like she believes in things that a lot of archaeologists don't believe in. Maybe, I don't know what they believe in, but it just seems like she believed in magic in the Angelina Jolie one, and it's kind of fun to see that. In this one, she's very skeptical of that, but again, that's because she's playing a younger version of herself. Hopefully, now from here on out, she will. She has to, because magic happens. Magic, the game, they just sit around the tomb and play magic. Doesn't sound interesting, but it was. In this film, you get to see some things out of the character and her relationship with people that she's close with that you've never seen before. And I think that's really cool. I cried in the end. I cried at a Tomb Raider film. I cried everything. I wrote, I wish they would have had her kick even more ass. She needed assistance many times, and the character and the actor deserved better. I think this actress portrayed her so well. The character is someone that I so look up to and so love so much, obviously. And so I wanted her to even do more. And I think if they continue on with the character, that's something that they're gonna have to work on. The setup for the second one, though, was amazing. She goes back to Nick Frost's pawn shop deal and she sees a gun and she's like, I like it. I'll take 2. And then that's it. That's all there is. And I love it so much. I like it. I'll take 2. All in all, I think it was a really fun game, and like I said, if you are into the franchise of Tomb Raider, if you love Lara Croft like I do, you're gonna have a really good time with this film. Definite problems, absolutely, but overall, I thought it was so good. Let me know what you think about it in the comments below, and I will see you all next week. Bye. I like it. I love it. I want some more of it. Ah!